After we've listened to all this stuff, guys, what is the greatest moment in DA show history? What is number one? Mraz, after all of this, what do you think?
I think it's still going to be Torg Bellinger.
You think Torg Bellinger this year is the greatest moment in our 5.5 years on the air?
I spent the last week telling you we have a recency bias, but to me, as I mentioned to you, it is so outrageous that I almost don't still believe that it's true, and I think you could be pulling wool over eyes. That's how nuts it is. So of all the nutsiest of nutsiest moments, I think this year produced the biggest in Torg Bellinger.
Uh-huh.
You have already crowned it number one of the 12 Days of Christmas of this year, saying there is absolutely no way it can be topped.
Can't touch it, and I think it might be the Babe Ruth of the DA show, where like everything is always compared to him.
Yeah.
Pete the Body Bilotti, having heard today's 5.5 year retrospective and having now worked on the show a number of years, what do you think is the greatest moment ever?
Well, I was gonna say Mraz crying over Jeter, but it's not a recency bias, but I still go back to Art Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Because it's just so odd that Art Garfunkel would be on the show.
That's a good
First
point.
of all. And it's a name. It's a name that was interacting with our brands and created such a controversial moment.
That's a good one.
Come on.
That's a good case. Andrew Bogish, the greatest moment?
I got to go with something that proves your significance to your listeners. I mean, the fact that a guy staged a robbery for the sole purpose to be part of your year-end special. Like, he committed a felony to be part of the show in perpetuity, goes to show you the connection you've created. And that was early in the history of the show, too.
Yeah.
So the instant connection and the deep connection leading, again, someone to allegedly committing a felony, and then you throw in the involvement of newspapers and other media outlets and actual police. I mean, I don't know how you top that, even with Torg and his long-lost brother.
Gosh, it's such a good point. I mean, Mraz, it is true. Out of everything that symbolizes the idiocy of this show, Will in Baltimore faking his own robbery and then getting outed by the Baltimore Sun.
And us having a meeting with bosses, mind you, to go, hey, next time you may want to make sure a robbery is real before it's out there. Make sure a robbery is real. It's on the air in live time.
How do we validate?
It's the most ridiculous meeting ever.
Can you FaceTime me into the robbery?
These are all really good votes, and it's funny. I could go with any one of those. Painkiller Pat still feels to me to be the most impactful because that's the only phone call ever that we have like 7 drops that live forever on the show. It is so crazy and so out there that he would be defending Detroit, but then also bringing up biblical references, saying that he doesn't even have a job, Damien.
I don't even have a job, Damien.
He is convinced all sports are fixed from a very specific moment, the 1983 National Championship game, NC State's win.
I can't even watch a sporting event without thinking it's fixed.
The fact that he also said that, well, he thought that I asked him how many beers ago did he lose faith in sports, and he said I said how many years ago.
How many beers ago? Probably 1,000.
And the fact that a phone call was so diabolical, so explosive that we kept him on for 14 plus minutes. If you think about 14 minutes in real time, that's one guy ranting for a quarter of an hour. I just don't know how you top it. I mean,
He called you Damien.
And Damien multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.